Ilhan Omar, the Congresswoman from Minnesota, gave a rare Sunday interview on CBS. I want to play a little bit of that for you. I don't know if you saw it or not, but here is part of her commentary going back to 9/11.
9/11 was an attack on all Americans. It was an attack on all of us. And I certainly could not understand the weight of the pain that the victims of the families of 9/11 must feel. I was speaking to was the fact that as a Muslim, not only was I suffering as an American who was attacked on that day, but the next day I woke up as my fellow Americans were now treating me as suspect.
She's been in the spotlight ever since she went to Washington. And questions like that, a lot of people have wanted to know what her explanation is. There you have it. I certainly could not understand the weight of the pain the victims of the families were feeling, she said. And then she talked about the next day I woke up as my fellow Americans were now treating me as a suspect. So you take that on face value. That was her experience, Ari. What did you make of the explanation?
Well, and this is all in the context of her statement that some people did something, which is how she described the attacks in our country on September 11th. She was asked on Face the Nation about people finding that offensive. She didn't take back her words. She didn't say she was sorry. She said some people did something. She made September 11th all about what she was feeling. How can she not understand what it was like for the people who had their families lost? Everybody understands what that's like. But she said, and it was not in what you just showed, but her clip went on to say many Americans had their civil liberties stripped after September 11th, which is not true. Nobody had their civil liberties stripped. Actually, they were protected. And so I find her lack of explanation for her statement about some people did something to be terribly troubling still. She doesn't get how offensive what she said was.
Yeah. Here's how she could be an American hero. Just explain your story. Born in Somalia, grew up in a refugee camp in Kenya. I believe, Ari, her family was granted green cards to come to the U.S. She was, and some others in her family, and now she's a member of the U.S. government. That is an American success story, and if maybe she would fly the flag rather a little bit on that. I think a lot of people, frankly, on both sides of the aisle would roll out the red carpet for her, Ari.
Bill, all that is true about her background, but it doesn't excuse her failure when she said some people did something. I mean, no people did something. What happened was we were attacked by radical Islamic terrorists, and her failure to say that is the beginning of her problem. That's the original sin here that she still won't atone for.
Why do you think that is?
So yes, she has a sympathetic story, like many immigrants who come to America, because I think she's at heart too much radical. I really think you see it in her. You see it in her anti-Israel statements, her offensive statements about Republicans, about the president, her desire to impeach the president, the way she framed that issue. And then just for anybody to still not apologize when they hear how offensive it is, particularly in the week of September 11th, for the families who gather once a year to commemorate their loved ones, she could find it in herself to apologize. She should. She used the wrong words to describe an attack. She should have just described the attack the way it was.
Ari Fleischer, thank you for coming back with us today. We'll talk again very soon.